Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Sammy, also known as Aiyn Zahev. In this video I'm taking a look at Rapid, which is a synthesizer made by Parawave. So this is a wavetable based synth. It has 8 layers, and what you're looking at here is one of these layers, and the rest of them are all the same as well. So basically you've got this here times 8, and the layer itself has 3 oscillators, filter section, and some effects and an arpeggiator. It also has 4 sequencers, 4 LFOs, and 4 envelopes. Down here is a modulation section, and it looks like you've got 32 modulation slots. And what's interesting is, for such a powerful synth, I was able to explain basically the entire layout in just a few moments. And that's really one of the highlights of Rapid. It's extremely quick to use. And as far as my experience goes so far, everything you need is laid out right in front of you. So let's take a look at the oscillator here. I'm going to switch over to our oscilloscope, which is actually quite nice. And we can actually zoom out or in. And let's take a look at the waveforms available. I can't really go through all of the waveforms because that would just take too long. But what I can do is show you the categories. So you've got your common waveforms here, and I'll give you an example. You got saw to square. If I click on this, I get a nice 3D display here. And then we've got these acid ones. And the display is running at 60 frames per second, as is the oscilloscope. And that's just pretty cool. It looks really nice. One thing I will say is the resolution of the morph is extremely smooth. So we'll go now to the... Oh, wait, before we move on, just want to show you tube sign. So that's pretty cool. Alright, then you've got pulse modulation. I don't want to go through everything in detail, but I do want to show you the pulse width modulation because I think it sounds really good. Here we've got some more of the aggressive wavetables. And it's really handy that right next to this we actually have a drop-down menu to insert some distortion. And again, I just keep noticing how fine the resolution here is. Now this is not the only kind of processing available on the oscillator. We've got phase modulation here, which has a built-in oscillator, which you can tune. So we'll put it at -12. We've got ring modulation. And to stick to the sort of harder stuff, there is the spectral growl section over here. If we take the random down here, I like that a lot. One of the great things about this unison, by the way, it sounds really good at very low detune. And I haven't actually shown you the shaper section yet. You've got a shaper section down here in the effects and a distortion. I'm going to turn the distortion off for now. So if we go to sine, so let's move on now. We've got some vocals here.
Everybody in the house,
Now the filters are pretty digital sounding, but they are effective. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with a clean filter in my opinion. There are a couple here that sort of give you a bit more of a analog muddled kind of sound. Now moving on from these 260 wavetables here, let's go into the multi-sample area. So this one's actually not wavetables, these are just straight up samples. So far as I can tell, you can't really do any morphing in there. But there are some really interesting ones in here which would be great for layering. So let's take a look at our stabs. This is actually, as it says, multi-sampled, so each note is giving me a different kick. So this is pretty cool. Now, when we come to the effects, this is really nice. This is the kind of stuff that I really love. Having the ability to mix in samples and sort of manipulate them and then add them in with like wavetables, for example. Now, I haven't actually shown you the sequencer yet, so let's do that. I'm actually going to load up a compressor here, and let's modulate the gain in. So here's a sequence. Now this is the best kind of step sequencer in my opinion. Just grab shapes here and throw them in. I really don't like the ones where you double click, make a point, and then you got to move things around. I mean, it's cool to have the precision, but I just find it a lot more fun to experiment when I can just throw shapes down like this. We also have a preset system here. Some of these are musical. There's actually a scaling grid right here. And I really get the feeling here, the impression that rather than just trying to cater to a certain kind of audience with like the coolest sounds right now, the designers or whoever was responsible for the content really appreciated just good sound. And I think that runs through the whole synth, really. I did speak with the designer. He was telling me how he designed the entire synth, really, from the ground up. So each individual section and component was all his own design. And that he was mainly focused as well on creating a synth where everything was laid out in front of you and was easily accessible. And I think I could easily say he's done that. Now I want to show you something really cool with the effects. Is we can actually go here and load up send. And what this does is send this channel into layer 2. And that can then have its own effects layout. So let me just put on a delay and a reverb here. As I move this up. So what I'm going to do now is set up the sequence here to automate the send. And I'm going to make this mono. So I really like to be able to do things like that. You may have noticed we have a cheeky little sidechain plugin right down here. So that's really cool. I think if you're into any kind of like the old Waldorf sound, or you like wavetable synthesis, you should check this out. Now, I don't think you can import your own user wavetables. The other thing I'd say it's a shame is not only can you not have one oscillator modulate the other, but the LFOs actually only go to 65 Hertz, so far as I know. And if I learn anything after this, I'll put a note in the description below. Personally, I think it's a great platform, and if it gets expanded even further, it'll make it even better. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.